USA, San Gabriel Valley, Donnerstag, den 10. November 2022. Alles begann kurz vor 17 Uhr, als die Polizei den Verdächtigen verfolgten, der in einem gestohlenen schwarzen Honda Civic rücksichtslos über die Straßen von Anaheim raste.
It's a black Honda Civic. The driver's side window rolled down. Apparently, this was an attempted traffic stop. As I mentioned, unclear which agency and who is pursuing here, or if this is technically still in pursuit mode. But what you can see here is that the driving is very dangerous, very erratic and aggressive tactics as he tries to thread the needle here, squeezing through these two cars at a red light. You can see some front end damage on that bumper, now turning left onto Huntington Avenue, just south of the 91 freeway. This appears to be a residential street, doing about 60 miles per hour down a residential street just east of Maple Street. So Huntington Avenue and Maple Street just coming up on Maple, making a right turn now, slowing down just a little bit, zigzagging his way again through this residential neighborhood with nobody right behind him, but making random turns nonetheless here at a pretty high rate of speed and not really stopping for any of these stop signs. Looks like he's pulling over and maybe thinking about dumping the vehicle. There goes the driver's side door opening up, and he is either going to walk or run away here. He dropped his phone, and now maybe getting in the vehicle. We'll see here. It looks like he's very, very agitated, in a rush to get away from that vehicle. Getting in a pickup truck. We'll see if he, okay, yeah, he does not.
Der Verdächtige versuchte, einen Kleintransporter zu stehlen, konnte das Fahrzeug jedoch nicht aufbrechen. Er kehrte in die Limousine zurück und floh weiter vor der Polizei.
Right, so he's getting back in that original car. Almost for a second looked like he was intentionally getting in that pickup truck as if he also had the keys, but obviously was trying to break in there, now choosing to get away in that original pursuit vehicle. I can tell you that Anaheim PD's helicopter is overhead here. They have eyes on it. They are probably streaming ABC7 as we speak as well. And you can see now getting back onto Falmouth Avenue at a high rate of speed after failing to take over that pickup truck back in that original Honda Civic as he tries to hide out somewhere in this neighborhood. Unclear whether he's going to get back on the freeway here, but he's almost doing a complete circle as he's basically come out the other side of this neighborhood. So heading northbound now on Catalpa Avenue into oncoming lanes of traffic, some wild turns here. They have to get some ground units into this area because the driving, as I see it, is just way too dangerous to let this go on much further, nonetheless, in the middle of rush hour. You've got to wonder right off the bat whether this vehicle belongs to him. It just doesn't make sense that he would just dump the vehicle for no other reason except for maybe the possibility of the fact that it might be running out of gas. So if the gas is low.
Der Mann stellte das Auto später auf einem Parkplatz in einem Reihenhauskomplex in der Stadt Fullerton ab.
Really trying to get rid of this vehicle and now running through this subdivision here. We'll try and get across here. It looks like it's going to be North Schooner Lane as he runs through these townhomes in Anaheim. We'll try and get, if we widen now, we'll see. Okay, let's stay on him. Stay on him right here. He's just running around this building here. Looks like he's coming up on another couple of cars parked here, a van and a small red.
Der Verdächtige brach dann einen weißen Van, der in der Nähe geparkt war, auf und konnte ihn kurz schließen, um ihn zu starten. Der Mann wurde jedoch blockiert, als Polizisten einen Streifenwagen direkt hinter dem Van parkten.
Likely trying to hotwire it at this point, and you can see they have lit him up and basically blocked him in. If he tries to back out, it could get ugly, but in any event, officers now with their guns drawn, squarely they had their eyes on him. They're just waiting for backup at this point, and obviously trying to bark some orders at him, hoping he gets out of the vehicle. Let's try and come around the other side if we can. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're actually on the north side of the Disneyland TFR, so we actually are going to be forced to hold this position right here. Unfortunately, we can't see the driver's side of that white van. But again, if you're just tuning in, there is a pursuit driver that is just look at this! Look at this! Ramming into the front of that black and white. That is Fullerton Police. Fullerton Police now trying to block him in.
In diesem Moment setzte der Verdächtige den Van zurück und rammte wiederholt den Streifenwagen, um Platz zu schaffen.
To ram that car out of his way as he is now stuck in that parking spot. There's really nowhere for him to go. He's got a fence in front of him. Look at this. Look at violently into reverse, ramming right into that Fullerton Police Department vehicle. That's right. Yes. This is very dangerous. Obviously, that officer has no choice but to use force if his life is in danger, but he is waiting for backup, and at this point really has very few options available to him. Here's another officer on the suspect's right rear flank. So now two officers, not sure if they both came from that same patrol car, but I only see those two officers on foot, and he is just going back and forth. Now he's created some room to escape here, and he's going to probably try and ram in again or do a four-point turn and turn it around. He's got to turn it all the way around without hitting that tree. And
Anschließend raste davon.
Because what else can those officers do? They really don't have many options. Here comes the backup. Here comes backup, head-to-head. This is dangerous. Look at this. A head-on situation almost with that patrol car. Officers out of the vehicle, and now he's racing through the subdivision as more officers race into this neighborhood. Look at this. What is he going to do here? Around all of those black and whites, those are two Fullerton police officers that are now going to try and turn around with him. Look at this. Look at what we are seeing here. He is now back on Coronet Avenue after evading four separate black and whites who were just pulling into the neighborhood to try and help that original officer after a wild scene in that parking lot. We now have a brand new pursuit on our hands here as he has carjacked this vehicle and now racing down Coronet Avenue at Maple Street. Once again, a dangerous situation on the hands of Fullerton Police here. That's right, and anybody who is willing to engage with those cops like that, attempted assault on, look at this, ramming past all of this traffic here as he tries to get back on the freeway. It looks like he's trying to get back on the 91 freeway. He sideswiped two separate cars to get through that red light, getting back onto the 91 freeway. Surely CHP is being called in here as Fullerton Police.
Die Verfolgungsjagd wurde mit dem Verdächtigen am Steuer des gestohlenen Lieferwagens fortgesetzt, der weiterhin völlig rücksichtslos auf Straßen und Highways fuhr und andere Autos auf der Straße seitlich streifte.
To put themselves in that position where they are face to face with those officers. It is a desperate suspect behind the wheel here, and obviously very, very dangerous. Getting onto the 5. And he just has no regard. He has no problem ramming into anybody at this point or sideswiping any vehicle that's in his way. So I think we are about to see some really dangerous, very precarious situation here for every motorist who you see in this frame. Again, westbound side of the 91 freeway has now transitioned to the southbound the northbound 5 freeway. He is now northbound on the 5 freeway, where traffic, I've got to tell you, is relatively light for as far as I could see out the window from up here in Air 7 HD. Very little traffic in his way. I can only imagine, as you were wondering too, David, that I can only imagine that CHP has been requested to take this over, because you've got Anaheim PD, who's pretty much out of pocket. They do have their airship in the area, but Fullerton PD is now out of their jurisdiction. Now he's getting off at Beach Boulevard. So getting off at Beach Boulevard, onto Beach Boulevard. Oh, look at that, fishtailing as he came off the freeway there onto Beach Boulevard, off of Beach Boulevard onto Auto Center Drive, as he continues northbound at a high rate of speed. A little more traffic on this street here as he makes a wild right turn into oncoming lanes of traffic. There's Anaheim PD's helicopter. They are directly over him, likely calling out for CHP, but right now, ever since he took this vehicle out of that parking lot, we have not seen any ground units engage with this suspect yet. Yeah, very fearful, very agitated driver behind the wheel here. It all started as a failed traffic stop, refusing to pull over. He was in a black Honda Civic when it all started, and it appeared, we saw him on several occasions try and dump that vehicle, and now he has taken over a white van. That's a GMC van, almost looks like a work van that was parked in those townhomes, now on Artesia Boulevard, as CHP tries to get in here and race up Artesia to catch up with the suspect. But once again, no black and whites in sight, as he is breaking every rule of the road and showing no regard for anybody's safety here, just ramming into vehicles whenever he sees anybody in his way. He sideswiped 2 separate vehicles, getting off of the 91 freeway, lost control at Beach Boulevard, as you said, David. He fishtailed off of the freeway there, almost lost control actually, and is now regained control on a much less traveled boulevard here. This is Artesia Boulevard, where you can see once again he's got much of the road all to himself here. He is just bound to lose control of this vehicle. You could tell with every turn, he's barely braking. He's taking all of these turns way too fast. A very top-heavy vehicle that he is showing very limited capability of controlling. There are some black and whites a ways back, but they are having trouble catching up. They are not competing with him with these dangerous tactics that we're seeing here. He is driving very dangerously, but they've got to figure something out, because this is the same driving that we were seeing when he was in a small little black Honda Civic. We were very easily able to spot him on the freeway. Look at this, more traffic in his way. We'll see what he does here, but every time he's caught himself in a little bit of a jam, he just tries to use the vehicle to ram his way through here. Looks like he's gotten through that light there. Here we're on Valley View Avenue. As I was mentioning, it was very easy to spot him on the freeway originally because the driving was so erratic. And again, throughout this pursuit, except for when he stole this vehicle, he has had really nobody behind him. He's just driving like a madman through the streets of Whittier now here on Valley View Avenue at Alondra Boulevard. Through the green light here with a little more traffic in his way, and we'll see what he attempts to do here. But I've got to believe that Honda was running out of fuel. You saw some front-end damage. He obviously had been in some collisions with that car, and we already have witnessed several collisions with this car, not to mention that wild scene in the parking lot. If you missed it, I hope we can roll back some of that video where he was ramming that black and white, that lone Fullerton police officer who was just trying to block parking spot with his gun drawn. He rammed that black and white out of the way, and the pursuit is on once again. But right now, as we've been saying, no law enforcement able to keep up with him just yet. Over. Over the median into oncoming lanes of traffic through a parking lot here. He's going to come out on Rosecrans Avenue, going the wrong way on Rosecrans, wrong way on Rosecrans. It's a median. He's going to have to jump the, oh my goodness, look at this. He's going to probably shift over to the correct lanes here, but he had nowhere to go there, didn't jump the median, just went the wrong way, is now on the westbound side of Rosecrans Avenue, heading back towards the freeway. He's going to come up on the 5 freeway, approaching Norwalk. If he continues in the westbound direction here, looks like another crazy turn there onto a surface street, into a parking spot for no reason whatsoever. Just went right over the curb there. I mean, there really wasn't anybody in his way. I'm not even sure what's going through this guy's mind. This is just very unpredictable. Impossible to set up for a spike. Look at this. Off-roading, trying to get around traffic. Yeah, almost slammed into that tree. Now, look at this.
Schließlich erreichte er die Stadt Whittier, wo der Lieferwagen einen seiner Hinterreifen verlor.
Avenue. He is having a lot of trouble with this vehicle, guys. Absolutely not. Yeah, not composed at all. It looks like he might even have a flat tire. Look at this. There are pieces. Oh, he's lost his tire. He's on his rim. He's on that left rear tire is almost down to, I don't know if there's any tread left, but he's looks like he's got some sparks coming off occasionally. You saw some of that rubber flying off, and now he's going to have even more trouble maintaining control of this vehicle as he continues northbound on Marquardt Avenue. Right along the wash here, there's a golf course off of the nose, but we are in a commercial area. It's going to turn into a more residential street if he continues, but there is a black and white now behind him, code 3 with lights and sirens on, about maybe 50 feet back. Let's go ahead and widen out and see which agency that is that's behind him. That looks like maybe still Fullerton. It's Fullerton PD. Fullerton PD back in pursuit, guys. Yeah, we're in the Norwalk area, I think, now as he comes up. Well, no, he's not in Norwalk yet, but look at this. He's going through that gas station without any tire on that left rear wheel. Almost struck several vehicles there. A miracle nobody's gotten hurt yet, but you can see he is really in a jam now. Lots of traffic ramming into all of these cars here. Again, this is northbound Carmenita Road now, and it's not moving. He's stuck. Now he's stuck. It looked like he's stuck.
Der Van wurde zwischen einem PKW und einem geparkten PKW eingeklemmt.
Sparks flying, and that officer right there has to treat this with kid glove care, and likely going to have to step away from his vehicle because we already seen him put it in reverse once and ram into that other patrol car. Right now he's trying to go forward, and he's not going anywhere at all. It looks like the van is now stuck. Yeah, this is likely to start a fire. You can see those rims are starting to glow. There's certainly more on the way over here. Right now, if we widen it just a little bit, we can confirm just that one black and white. Just the one black and white. We're at Placid Drive, northbound Carmenita Road, and he is now stranded here. We'll see how this officer deals with this. He's likely just going to wait for backup, and right now it doesn't appear as though that van is going anywhere. He's probably not aware. That's right.
Der Verdächtige hielt den Fuß mehrere Minuten auf dem Gaspedal, um zu versuchen, den Fun wieder in Bewegung zu setzen. An dem Rad, wo der Reifen abgefallen war, begannen Funken zu fliegen, und schließlich erkannte der Verdächtige, dass er feststeckte.
I was going to say, he might not even be aware that his wheel's on fire, but certainly he's aware of the fire under the hood. More pieces flying out there as this vehicle is starting to come apart. I'm thinking it came from well, it could be, because, I mean, where else would that smoke be coming from? But I don't think any shots have been fired yet, so that probably is not the case. But that wheel, that left rear wheel, is also creating some metal as well. So it could have come from the rear, but now I've got to wonder if that transmission is just reached its limit, and that's what's producing the smoke here. Not sure, but in any event, it has overheated. And it looks like the vehicle is now disabled. Additional units now pulling into position here. So some backup from CHP.
Er konnte über die Beifahrerseite aus dem Transporter aussteigen, kletterte über das geparkte Fahrzeug und rannte in ein Wohngebiet.
Running up northbound Carmenita at Leffingwell Road as he crosses the street. We've seen this person make several desperate attempts to hijack other vehicles. We will see what he decides to do here. Lots of folks getting home here in Fullerton, or here in the La Mirada area, I want to say, and he is now running down the sidewalk without any other wheels at his disposal. He's going to start running out of steam here, and we'll see if this ends in a foot pursuit, because I think they are pursuing him on foot, but I can't confirm that from my vantage point. Here comes another officer in the opposite direction, and he's now run into a residential alleyway here. Loses his footing. Oh no, he's now on private property. You saw that it looked like a woman next to her home here. He's now in the backyard, and he's going to hide out here along Leffingwell Road. And jumping fences. He's jumping fences, looking for a way into one of these homes. Little dog, small dog there in the backyard. He's under that patio, yeah, that awning. He's trying to get into that car, into that house rather. Several dogs barking. He's now going through that sliding glass door, making his way into the home. Somebody appears to be, yeah, it might even be a homeowner, not sure. Completely unaware. Yeah, he's on the other side of the building. I don't think he has any clue. Very dangerous situation here where we have no information, but here comes somebody running.
Er brach in ein Haus ein und geriet in eine Konfrontation mit den Bewohnern. Der Kampf weitete sich auf die vordere Einfahrt aus. Ein Bewohner wurde von einer Frau zurückgehalten, als er versuchte, den Mann aufzuhalten, der den Lieferwagen der Familie stahl. Er stieg in ihren Truck und fuhr davon, wobei er beinahe einige der Bewohner und ihre Haustiere überfahren hätte. Auf der Flucht durchbrach er mit dem Lastwagen das Eingangstor.
This is incredible! This is incredible! Unbelievable! I cannot believe what we are witnessing, guys. They are going to have to get creative here, because this person is look at this! Just ramming into cars, additional bumpers flying off of that other vehicle, and now he's, I believe, westbound on Leffingwell Road. I want to say westbound. Is that? Can we put the compass up real quick? Yeah, westbound Leffingwell. If you live in this area or have any idea where we are here, if you are looking at us, you need to stay inside, because there is a dangerous suspect behind the wheel here. I feel very sorry for all of the other cars on the road here as he continues to make his way towards the freeway once again. We may find ourselves back on the freeway. But look at him, a little bit of traffic, and once again, right through another gas station. This is just incredible. This is the third vehicle that he has stolen today. That's right. That's the only thing that I could think of if they have the opportunity. They're going to have to catch up with him once again. They're going to have to get themselves in a position where they could bring this to an end if they can figure that out. And then there's going to be a very dangerous confrontation because this guy is not going away easily. There's just no way at this point that he is willing to give up. And whatever steam he lost running up that block, he's now comfortably in the driver's seat of a brand new work truck, and you could tell, I mean, he's having, we don't even know. I mean, there could be a full tank in that truck, so he may have a whole new fresh tank to play with here as he now travels down Mayer Road at 70 miles per hour, a high speed, traveling at a high rate of speed on a road that can't be more than 45 miles per hour speed limit, now back into another residential neighborhood. Not to mention, he almost took out at least one person in that driveway and a dog that was underneath as well. I hope everybody is okay back there, but now we have to follow this until the end here because the sun is going down and still no visual of law enforcement within sight here. So we're going to try and keep the camera on him and hope that somebody can triangulate those officers into this residential neighborhood as he makes these random turns, now making a left turn onto Rainier Avenue off of Fidel at a high rate of speed. I mean, I just hope nobody is out walking this neighborhood because this person is just speeding right through. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Over the median again, going the wrong way on Florence Avenue. Going the wrong way, head on with additional traffic down Florence Avenue. And look at this, coming up on another major intersection, a left turn northbound on Painter Avenue. To answer your question, David, that original van, I think he hot-wired. I have to believe that the keys in this truck were already inside the vehicle because he just ran away with that way too quickly, unless he, as you mentioned, is a really gifted car thief. In any event, there have been several major felonies that we have witnessed here this evening, and now a wild chase continuing northbound Painter Avenue with several black and whites behind him, but again, having trouble to keep up. Again, the speeds he's traveling and the dangerous tactics. No problem going the wrong way against traffic, 75 miles per hour on Los Nietos Road and Shoemaker Avenue. So again, a very light traffic here. And it wouldn't matter anyways, because when there is traffic, he just seems to ram into everybody in his way. So we can only hope that the traffic stays light and hope that maybe they can get some more officers into the area in front of him, not just following him from behind and chasing him, but try and triangulate in front of him. Very difficult because he's not, driving in any kind of a pattern. A spike strip obviously is pointless. Some cross traffic there through the red light at Santa Fe Springs Road, now well into Santa Fe Springs. As he continues northbound here. Only a couple lanes to play with, maybe only one lane, I can't really tell, but he's continuing at a high rate of speed around that FedEx truck at about 70 to 80 miles per hour. It's unbelievable. I mean, he's on a bona fide crime spree here. We can only be thankful that it didn't appear that anybody in that home was hurt. At the very least, we have to be thankful for that, but it'll be a miracle if it remains that way throughout the course of this new pursuit now. Again, as you mentioned, in the third vehicle that we have seen him in today. Now, you're right. It's been about 25 minutes since this all started, I want to say. Is that right? About 25 minutes? Maybe, yeah, a little bit closer to 40 minutes. Yeah, and he was going away from the freeway here on Slauson. Now he's turned around and heading back towards the freeway. I wonder if he's looking for an opportunity to get back on the freeway. He is on Sorensen Avenue with a little more traffic in his way here, but he's heading back in the westbound direction here. So he was going eastbound Slauson, and for some reason, and he hasn't done this very often, but for some reason he just turned around, very randomly turned around, back towards the freeway, and I wonder, my gut tells me he's looking for an entrance ramp. A close call there. Another residential street along Sorensen Avenue that Anaheim PD ship still right over him. They have been relentless as well, staying right on top of him. At least they have been able to do that and call out his location for all of these neighboring agencies. Now, LA County Sheriff is going to be getting involved here at some point. We are in Santa Fe Springs. In LA County Sheriff's jurisdiction. We've already seen several agencies, including Anaheim PD, Fullerton PD, and CHP, try to apprehend this suspect at various points, but he has done a masterful job of evading authorities while creating a lot of horror and havoc in Orange County and now back in LA County here on another residential street. A very random turn, so no destination of mine. I thought maybe he was trying to get to the freeway. Doesn't look like it. Just trying to maybe look for a spot to hide out, thinking this through. Maybe I don't know how familiar he is with this neighborhood, but maybe he's just looking for an opportunity to hide out. And you just have to your thoughts right now are with everybody who lives in this neighborhood. That's what I'm thinking about. I mean, he is in a small little residential neighborhood here at Riesling and Wellsford. And if he decides to dump that vehicle once again, we already know what he's capable of. And so I just hope, the best place he could end up right now, quite frankly, guys, would be the freeway. If he gets on the freeway, it's a much more manageable and contained atmosphere. But once you get into these residential streets with a dangerous madman behind the wheel like this, anything is possible. We've already seen it, and you can see that night sun coming on. Compliments of the Anaheim Police Department. Angel One right overhead as he continues these random turns. That, I think, was LA County's helicopter. So now 2 law enforcement helicopters following his each and every move. He's not going to get away, guys. They are going to get him off the road at all costs. This is not going to come. He's speeding up for sure. He's back on Sorensen. Right. Well, the question becomes: look at this. He's full speed at the end of Sorensen into a parking lot, and I think this is a shopping center at This is the Marketplace Shopping Center at Magnolia Avenue in Hadley. Okay. People walking through this parking lot. He's slowing down a little bit at least, but he's weaving his way through this parking lot, a very busy parking lot, as he tries to look for an outlet. You have to wonder, he's very aware of that night sun coming from the helicopter, and I can only imagine that night sun is agitating him even more. So at least we've made it through there without any trouble. He's made his way through that parking lot, now back onto Hadley Street, where you can see squarely that night sun is on him. And hopefully that doesn't cause him to amp things up even more than they already are. But as you mentioned, David, we do not know what the original want was. It was an attempted traffic stop. He failed to pull over, failure to yield, but obviously there is much, much more to this story. And from the very beginning, I was questioning whether that original black Honda Civic even belonged to him. And from what we're witnessing here, my bet is that was likely a stolen vehicle as well. In any event, this is the third vehicle we've seen him in through another major street here, through the red light, continuing, I think, northbound on Hadley Street. Oh my goodness. That's a school. He's in front of a school, guys. He's in front of a school. Lots of people walking in front of this school. David, he just sped past an elementary school with a whole bunch of people walking the street. Thankfully, he did not hit any of them. He is slowing down a little bit. I'm not sure what elementary school that was, quite frankly, but he's now on Beverly Boulevard at Haviland Avenue. And as the sun has set, obviously, you can see we are now in darkness as he continues the pursuit through these residential streets. The only light that we're working with is that night sun from the LA County Sheriff's Department. Looks like he's found himself in a dead end. He's at a dead end at the end of Alta Avenue, putting it in reverse, and he's going to reverse his way back out of here. We'll see if there's any black and whites waiting for him on the other side here. Well, let's widen out just a little bit, Rob. See what's waiting for him as he comes out the other end of Alta Avenue. Nobody. There's nobody in his way here. He's going to continue, get back onto Beverly Boulevard, southbound or westbound Beverly Boulevard here in Santa Fe Springs, and no law enforcement in sight, guys. He is slowing down a little bit. Yep, go ahead, Giovanna. I've got to be honest, I can't imagine them taking that tactic in this type of a situation. They have to swarm him. They have to swarm him and get him off the road at all costs. And by the way, if they were trying to bring down the temperature, they would not have that night sun on him. That night sun is very agitating. He is clearly aware that law enforcement is on him, even though there's nobody right behind him. This is a pursuit. As far as we are aware, they are still in pursuit mode, trying to make their way in here. We just have to assume that they're just having a little trouble doing that. Yep, got it. Okay, guys, there is about 7 black and whites about a half a mile in front of him trying to cut him off at the end of Beverly Boulevard here. We'll see how this plays out, but they are trying to keep up with him, trying to move into position. Keeping up with him really is the wrong word. They're not really able to do that because he's driving so dangerously and so recklessly and occasionally at really high rates of speed. And when they do pull up behind him, he just jumps into the wrong lanes, going the wrong way into oncoming traffic. As he is right now, you see he's jumped those double yellow lines, going the wrong way down Beverly Boulevard just to get around this traffic. So they're taking a different tactic. They're trying to cut him off in front of him. Very difficult to predict where he's going to go, but at least they have the benefit of that helicopter calling out his location. Here they come. Here they come at Norwalk Boulevard, about 7 black and whites at the major intersection, making a right turn on Norwalk, and there it is. Look at this. And now they're behind him. Hot pursuit again now on Norwalk Boulevard, guys. These are going to be LA County sheriffs. That's correct. I think I counted at least 6 that I saw. The only good news, guys, is that as far as I could tell, Workman Mill Road is going to turn into much more commercial area, an industrial area. If he continues further north, there are some train tracks that could get him a little bit tied up if he continues. But in any event, you see he is now using that shoulder to get around this traffic. If the shoulder wasn't there, you could bet your bottom dollar he would just ram right through these cars if he had the opportunity. But in any event, those black and whites trying to keep up, but they can't do what he's doing. So they're going to do their best to keep up. He's got the helicopter right over him, and it's just a matter of time before this comes to another tipping point. Open road, especially this time of the night. On a weeknight, you can see some folks maybe going home, but for the most part, relatively light traffic on Workman Mill Road. Coming up on Peck, which is going to be a bit busier. So if he continues and makes a turn onto Peck Road, that'll be a different story. But right now, traveling at a high rate of speed, we'll throw that real-time speed tracker back up, and you can see he's going much faster than everybody else. That is a much, well, it looks like he's slowing down a little bit because he's got some traffic there, but you saw him doing about 50 or 60 on this very narrow road. Once again, going around a little bit of traffic at Peck there, and he's going to come over the 605. That is the 605 overpass. Still now, actually, he's now turned onto Peck. He's now on Peck Road, just east of the, just west rather of the 605. Yep. I'm sorry, guys. We're just taking care of a little bit of housekeeping up here, and it looks like he's now getting on the freeway. He's now on the 60 freeway, getting on from Peck Road, and now it's a whole different ball game. I can only hope, we can only cross our fingers and hope that he stays on the freeway, because that is going to take away at least some of the risk, although everybody on the freeway is certainly going to be in his path here of destruction, as we've seen this evening. CHP almost guaranteed to take this over at some point, but for now you can see those LA County Sheriff's officers managing to get on the freeway with him, but he's hugging that right lane. So he sees that traffic. This is all rush hour traffic, and it looks like if that continues, he may look to get back over to the right and get off the freeway. In any event, he's in the carpool lane now, so committed for the time being to the eastbound 60 freeway. And look at this. Yeah, just weaving around. You know, I'm already recalling similar situations, nothing quite like this, but different situations where we've seen attempted carjackings on the freeway. It jumps to mind only because of what we've seen today, but in any event, you're right, David. It is going to slow down a little more. The traffic is going to get heavier. You're going to see a few more brake lights in about 2 miles off the nose. Traffic is a little bit heavier on the westbound side, but on the eastbound side, he's going to hit the brakes in about 2 miles. For the time being, those deputies are still in tow. They've fallen back a little bit, but right now, that driver has tunnel vision. He's got one mission, and he's just desperately trying to evade those deputies who have now fallen back even further. Every time he weaves through around another car in that carpool lane, they have to slow down because they are not driving the way he's driving, okay? They are staying back, trying to keep the public safe, but now they're in a position where they have to probably start calling in some units who are up ahead of him, like we've already seen back in Santa Fe Springs. So likely CHP setting up for a traffic break up ahead here. Maybe not quite yet because that does take some time, but ultimately if he stays on the freeway, that's what we can expect to see. We can expect to see some tactics where they start to create traffic breaks behind him and traffic breaks ahead of him by blocking off those entrance ramps. And we'll see what they do with the exit ramps. But that all requires manpower and personnel, and we don't know what they have ready at their disposal at the moment. But in any event, those calls are going out now, and California Highway Patrol ready to help out the LA County Sheriff's Department here as we continue eastbound on the Pomona Freeway. He's basically been gassing it and flooring it wherever he's had the opportunity. Now, this is concerning. He's now on the shoulder, but he's gotten all the way back over to the right. As I mentioned, that traffic that I was talking about, that's what you're looking at here. It's too much traffic for his liking, and I predict that he's going to take one of these upcoming exit ramps here. So we'll look out for that as we try and come around the driver's side here in just a minute. But he is hugging that right lane, and I'm not exactly sure. This is going to be, let me just double check here. I think this is going to be perhaps, that might be Rose Hills Road, the next exit ramp here. In any event, he is committed. Look at this. He's actually moving over to the left, so maybe committing to the 60 here. I hope that's the case. But in any event, as you mentioned, Giovanni, he's just flooring it wherever he has the opportunity, just trying to create distance and space with those deputies behind him. Well, he certainly sees it. I don't think, oh, there it is. There it is. He's off. It's going to be Azusa Avenue, and he can make a left or a right. Oh, he's cutting that guy off, making a wild right turn there, and now southbound Azusa Avenue. Southbound Azusa Avenue. Too much traffic for him on the 60 freeway, and now the pursuit continues off the freeway onto surface streets. We'll see if the speeds continue as they have been, but looks like he may think that he's lost those units on the ground. Still see that night sun shining a light on him, but I don't see those deputies just yet. Not sure if they were able to get off the freeway with him. They're being directed to. I'm not sure if they're off the freeway yet. In any event, he's turned off of Azusa onto Colima Road. And you can just see all of these turns put him onto very highly trafficked areas for the most part because of the time of the day. It's literally the middle of rush hour at 5:40 on a Wednesday afternoon, and every turn he makes, he sees brake lights for the most part, and you can see folks just trying to get home without any idea what's coming up behind them. He's already ruined several people's day, but fortunately, at least from what we could tell, does not appear to be. That's a weed whacker that fell off the back of that truck, by the way. It appears to be a gardening truck, guys. There is a lot of landscaping equipment in the back of the bed of that pickup truck, excuse me. But in any event, that appeared to be a weed whacker that fell off there, and he's continuing at a high rate of speed, very dangerously, weaving around even the very few cars that there are in this residential neighborhood. He, again, has no problem ramming into anybody in his way, but he's trying to avoid them now. You know, it appears to be a brand new truck. If you look, that appears to be paper plates that are flapping in the back there. So very likely a newer model it looks like a Chevy. It's a Chevy, yeah, it's a Chevy pickup, and he's continuing now around this this person. But man, he is just, I just every time he gets into these residential neighborhoods, I worry for not only those cars in his way, but all of the people who live here. If he decides to do anything crazy, which he's already done a lot of crazy things, it could get so dangerous. That incident where he ran through that house could have ended in a deadly situation. There was obviously a struggle there. I'm just grateful that from what we observed, nobody was hurt, but there's no guarantee that it's going to end that way. In any event, he's continuing through this residential suburb here. It's going to be, looks like Crosshaven Drive at Calle Madrid. If you live in this neighborhood or know anybody who lives in this neighborhood, you are urged to stay inside because this is a dangerous pursuit that is speeding through your neighborhood. Uh-oh, uh-oh. All right, coming up on a red light here. He's on the wrong side of the road, northbound Fullerton. That's Colima. He can make a turn there, or if he continues north, that would put him back on the 60, but it looks like he's made a left turn onto Colima Road. Again, a lot more traffic on Colima as well as he makes that westbound turn. I still don't see anybody behind him. There are a few units a ways back, so they are behind him, but they're just a ways back, maybe several football fields back, as he comes up on another red light, trying to get around them. Lots of cross traffic here as he continues through that red light, and he's able to make it through. So Colima Road, westbound, is where we are. The helicopter's still overhead, and those sheriff's deputies trying desperately to catch up. We don't know that. That was a guess on my part. That's what I have a feeling, but that means nothing. We have nothing to confirm that it was a stolen vehicle, only to say that they tried to pull him over for some reason. Not sure what that reason is. Oh my goodness! A close call there onto the median, over the median, and now continuing after missing that cross traffic just by a hair. Just by a hair. Look at this. Officers able to shut down that intersection. We'll see if we start to see that happen again if he continues in the same direction. But there is now, it looked like maybe an undercover vehicle at that intersection. Look at that. They're now cutting him off and shutting down these intersections ahead of him. It's a very hard thing to do, by the way. It's very, very good that they were able to do that for 2 intersections in a row. They can't continue that, but if they can continue to try and leapfrog his trajectory along Colima Road here, that will help things dramatically. It looks like they've got another intersection blocked off here at Puente Hills and Colima, so it's going to be another dangerous situation, but no cross traffic as those deputies have shut down the intersection, giving him a wide berth to speed through the red light, and now continuing westbound on Colima Road. But just the mere act of shutting down the freeway, it saves lives because it stops all of the traffic. Whatever the light traffic signal says, everybody comes to a stop, and this guy can just speed right through these intersections and not kill anybody. So he's continuing at 90 miles per hour on Colima here, and here come those black and whites. Now they're closing in on him. No, he is jumping from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Now coming up on Hacienda Heights. We were in Roland Heights, and now for the first time we're in Hacienda Heights, basically paralleling the 60 freeway. So just a few blocks north of him is the 60 freeway. So we're going westbound on Colima Road, and if he continues in this direction, he'll come up on the 605. So 605 off ahead of him, the 60 freeway off to his right, and those deputies clearly closing in on him, giving him a little bit less space. And if they have an opportunity, which they can't with all of this other traffic in their way, but if they have an opportunity, they will pit him. They will pit him and do whatever it takes to get him off the road, but that assumes that those officers are pretty qualified. Losing control, up on the curb, losing control, crashing into another car. Crashed into another car. And it looked like he was trying to evade that deputy again. He was coming up right behind him, and he took that aggressive action, jumping the curb, tearing off somebody else's bumper. Just added to the list, guys. But the pursuit now continuing on Colima through another intersection. Here's another red light. We'll see what he does here. More cross traffic coming through, and now a southbound turn onto South Hacienda Boulevard. Presumably those deputies will make the turn with him and try and close in on him once again. There he is, just about maybe 4 or 5 car lengths back. If he slows down at all, they will close that gap, but every time they do that, he just basically speeds up. It's exceptionally dangerous, but you know what? We've seen situations where desperate times call for desperate measures. I think the bigger factor is the fact that there's so many innocent people around him. If they have a straightaway, and obviously they can't do it at like 60 miles per hour, but it's a heavy truck, by the way, so it wouldn't be the easiest pit in the world. But in any event, he's threading the needle, one lane going, one lane coming, southbound Hacienda Road, cars pulling over to make room for him. But thankfully, in this situation, at least you have the lights and sirens from those deputies right behind him. So you have folks naturally pulling over because they hear the emergency sirens behind them. But this is a very narrow road here. Hacienda Road, as you mentioned, one lane going, one lane coming, and he's going around everybody over the double yellow lines just to get away from that deputy. Ooh. It's a windy road. It's a windy road, and he's having trouble. No boundaries, no inhibitions. He is going for it. I mean, I think he's pretty well aware of how this is going to end, and it's not going to be pretty. He's basically enjoying his final minutes of freedom here because there is just no chance at this point, no chance whatsoever that he gets away. Off-roading, he's going to be in trouble here. He's going to be in trouble. He's off the road at a high rate of speed. He may spin out here. All right, back on Hacienda Road. He's gonna, oh, man, he just missed that one. Missed that car barely. It's a windy road that's going to meet up with Hacienda Road on the other end, also called Hacienda Road, where it'll have a little more room for him to play with. But right now it's a windy road with a lot of traffic in both directions. He's now going the wrong way, and here come separate deputies in the oncoming lanes of traffic, but really, what can they do? I mean, he's just, other than get into a head-on collision, which is not an option, they're going to have to turn around now and hopefully triangulate more units ahead of him here, which there will be another major intersection off his nose here. But in any event, he's now back into oncoming lanes of traffic over the double yellow lines at times at a high rate of speed once again. Oh, man, this is just, it just takes your breath away with every intersection that he blows through. Another residential neighborhood with very narrow streets. Looks like he's not, okay, so that's El Rancho Drive, and a series of deputies now following him into this neighborhood, or at least two. Okay, so these are the two that were coming. They turned around with them. Those original deputies, just to put this in perspective, appear to have fallen back. They could not keep up with his driving on Hacienda Road, but those two that were coming in the opposite direction are now right behind him. So two brand new deputies engaged in this hot pursuit along El Dorado Avenue here in Hacienda Heights. We are, it looks like a dead end. It's a cul-de-sac. This is scary. This is scary. A cul-de-sac, they're going to come face to face with this suspect, and you guys know, and our viewers know, what he's capable of in this situation, because he's already rammed into several vehicles, including deputy vehicles, and there he is again, right through, almost missing them, and now, oh man, continuing right out of the neighborhood. He's going to get right out. I mean, he's weaseling his way out of these predicaments, and I just don't know how much longer this could go on. I just can't fathom it. Nothing they could do. Yeah, right. Uh-oh. He's going to come head-to-head here. He's going to come head-to-head with another sheriff's deputy, and he's just going to go around him. That's the protocol, and you can see they're following protocol. They're pulling over, letting him around. They're not going to box him in, and part of the reason, guys, is because these tactics, look at this. He's going out of the neighborhood where there are about a half right through those deputies, again, just missing them. Unbelievable. There's about a dozen black and whites, a sea of orcas trying to keep up with him, and they just have no tools at their disposal at the moment to get him off the road. I can tell you that part of this is tactical protocol within the department, because there are other agencies that would treat this a little bit differently, but right now they are sticking with the book and basically just trying to. Okay, I've just told that he is facing now 3 charges of ADWs, assault with a deadly weapon on a law enforcement officer, on top of all the other crimes that we've witnessed here this afternoon, but just to kind of add it to the list. But you can see how many cops are pulling in here. It's unbelievable. It is. He's backtracking on that same windy road, which again has one lane going, one lane in the opposite direction, and at times he just went around traffic by off-roading into the shrubs almost. It was a miracle he was able to maintain his composure there, but spinning up a lot of dust. It's a narrow road and about a dozen black and whites behind him. But that tire, I think his back left tire is, he did hit something. Look at that, more sparks flying. Not sure if it's coming from the wheel well or if it's coming from that equipment, but something is making metal, and I gotta wonder if all that stuff in the bed of that pickup truck was strapped down. Very possibly not. We've already seen one weed whacker. Yeah, I think I'm being told it may be the result of one of those collisions earlier on the same road before he made his way into that neighborhood, possibly. We're going to try, by the way, to get on the other side, get on the driver's side, and catch a glimpse of that left rear tire to see what he's working with back there. But something back there was hitting the pavement, creating those sparks. There you see more sparks actually coming from the front. It's coming from the front left. Front left sparks. We'll see what his treads look like, but he's missing the tire again. He's missing the tire. Okay, so by the way, this is not the first time we've seen this in this pursuit. Last time, there's no way. There's no way he's going to continue these turns, especially at these speeds, and they're going to close in on him when he does. But again, there are so many innocent people in the immediate vicinity of this. If it ended right now and the vehicle was disabled, there is just so much crossfire, so much collateral in his way here, civilians that are just in danger every time I see every. Oh man, I just cannot keep up with this guy. He's going to lose it. He's going to lose control of this vehicle, and it's going to end very ugly. But at least for the time being, right. More sparks. Yeah.
Der Verdächtige verlor später einen Vorderreifen des gestohlenen Lastwagens, schlängelte sich jedoch weiter durch den Verkehr in der Gegend von Hacienda Heights.
Units behind him. We just saw another half dozen in front of him in the opposite lanes, and now he is continuing at a high rate of speed on a straightaway portion of Hacienda Boulevard, coming up on Colima Road once again if he decides to get back on Colima. But look at that, he's losing that rim. He's on borrowed time with this truck. It's a barely maneuvering. You see, we're very fortunate that he's on a straightaway section of street here, but if he has to make any tight turns at any speed, it's going to be very difficult for him. But at the very least, you're going to start to see that wheel come apart, and eventually the axle won't be able to turn. But it's obviously a heavy-duty truck. It's built for all kinds of situations, and these are not easy to break down, but you can see he's definitely testing the limits of this truck, and now without that front left tire, it's only a matter of time. Now those deputies have fallen back once again because he's blowing through these red lights, continuing at a high rate of speed, 70 miles per hour at what cannot be more than about a 45 mile per hour speed limit, and he's blowing through all these intersections with cross traffic. So many close calls. It's a miracle we haven't seen anybody get hurt. Now under the freeway, that I believe was the 605. The 60, excuse me. Oh, crashing into a Jeep, crashing into another vehicle here, and wiping him out off the road. He just took out another vehicle, rammed into him, heavy damage. I hope that person's okay. Up on the curb, and now he's trying. Look at this again, ramming into more cars and trucks. Head on, head on, head on. Unbelievable, head on with another car.
Er überfuhr rote Ampeln und rammte mehrere Fahrzeuge, als er sich durch den Verkehr zwängte. Der Vorfall dauerte fast 1,5 Stunden und endete erst, als der gestohlene Lieferwagen, inzwischen das dritte Fahrzeug, das er während der Verfolgungsjagd fuhr, in eine Tankstelle krachte und von einem Streifenwagen eines Sheriffs gerammt wurde.
We're going to widen out, and they are now firing into the cab of that pickup truck. Unbelievable. They are using force. Deadly force is being employed at this moment to try and stop this madness in the middle. They are stopped. They have stopped. The wheel is off. That front left wheel is off. Yep. Is it still going? Still going. So his foot's on the gas. Unbelievable. 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 Foot on the gas. Bullets flying through that truck. And now we'll see as they surround the vehicle. Multiple teams and canine units already on the scene here, surrounding the vehicle, at least the rear of the vehicle. They can't surround it completely, obviously. They don't want to create a crossfire situation. Yes, yes. Somebody's hurt. It looks like somebody, that's the driver. That's the driver. It looks like the driver of that car that he rammed head on into. It looks like he's being arrested. He's being detained for some reason. Not sure what that's about, but we'll focus on the truck for now. We'll focus on the truck, obviously more to that story, but clearly this ending in a crash with several vehicles, including that one right there. And you can see he's still gassing it, creating a lot more smoke.
Schließlich eröffneten die Beamten das Feuer, an der Außenseite des Führerhauses waren Einschusslöcher zu sehen. Der Verdächtige blieb drinnen, während die Blockade weiterging.
He's still gassing it. Multiple bullet holes through the driver's side window, guys. Those are shotgun shells. Those are high caliber shotgun shells that have now fired right through that driver's side window, most likely putting an end to this. Yeah, this has come to an end, guys. I hate to tell you, but well, I'm happy to say that this has come to an end. But obviously, a treacherous and deadly situation potentially for this suspect. So we will see if those wheels finally stop spinning, which it appears that they have. You can see dozens and dozens of officers at the corner of Gale and Hacienda Boulevard. Canine units at the ready. They are going to approach eventually. It could take a lot of time in some cases to approach the vehicle and try and get a better view into the cab. Unfortunately, really hard to see through the front windshield because if we get in front of it, you see the awning from the gas station would be concealing it. So we really can't get a good view into the driver's seat just yet. But we've got to... A whole bunch. There's smaller rounds in the rear window, large shotgun shells through the front window. It's just a wait and see game at this point. They are eventually, obviously, treating this with kid glove care, but obviously they have to take their time before just approaching the vehicle. And they have look at there's a fire.
Flammen brachen unter dem Lastwagen aus. Polizisten näherten sich vorsichtig von hinten und setzten Feuerlöscher ein, um die Flammen zu bekämpfen, die Rauchwolken erzeugten, während der Verdächtige immer noch im Inneren verbarrikadiert war.
This is not over by any stretch. Yeah, I think that last officer tried to ram into him intentionally, but then he put it in reverse and rammed right back into him. There were multiple, I mean, if you ask how many black and whites have been hit, I've lost count, quite frankly. So I can't tell you exactly how many. There were a whole bunch of parked cars and cars in traffic at the end of that pursuit before that major intersection. And there was one Jeep, a white Jeep soft top, that he got wiped out completely. I hope he's okay. They're going to have to check on him. Multiple shots, yep. Thank you. All right, guys. I'm being told that obviously we don't know what his condition is inside that vehicle, but they have reason to believe he is armed inside that vehicle. So now it appears that they are aware of a weapon potentially inside that vehicle. That's gonna, not that, I mean, that the whole truck has been a weapon this entire time, obviously, but if there's a weapon inside that vehicle, that adds to the calculus as they approach the vehicle. But in any event, they're gonna try and get clear eyes on them before opening that car. Again, this could take a lot of time. This could turn into an extended standoff, potentially, unless they decide that they want to be more aggressive. Obviously, go ahead, sorry. Oh, what? Oh. Great news. So, David and Ellen, they're preparing to fire more rounds into the cab, less than lethal rounds, we believe, and it's unclear. My question becomes, because we were told it might be a pepper ball, but in any event, is it to clear the window to gain visibility, or is it because they still see movement inside the vehicle. The pepper ball leads me to believe that they would have reason to believe that maybe there's movement in the vehicle. It seems unlikely from what we're witnessing here, but in any event, they are preparing to fire more less than lethal rounds into the cab of that truck. So something to watch out for as we continue to watch this play out on the corner of Hacienda Boulevard and Gale Avenue. Not clear on where those shots will be fired from, but it certainly looks like it'll come from yeah. That's what I think as well. That's what it seems to be, yep. Well, I mean, you know, when you think about the number of lives that he has put in danger over the last 90 minutes, I mean, it's just bewildering. But in any event, here comes an arrest team. They're going to approach with shields up, guns drawn, and they've got tactical tools at their disposal if they face any resistance. But the first order of business is going to be clearing that driver's side window. The glass breaker is being employed, ramming the driver's side window, and now getting a much clearer view that we will keep somewhat. There is movement. He's moving. He is moving.
Die Beamten brachen dann das Fenster auf der Fahrerseite des Lastwagens auf und zogen den Verdächtigen heraus, um ihn kurz nach 18:10 Uhr in Gewahrsam zu nehmen. Der Name des Verdächtigen wurde nicht bekannt gegeben.
They may pull him through that window, guys. I have a feeling they will just pull him right through the driver's side window without bothering with the door. We don't know what kind of condition he's in, but you saw what I saw, which was his hand moving. It looked like he maybe had crawled into the passenger seat, and there you go. They're going around the passenger side to bring him out. Wow. Stepping out of the vehicle. Whoa. Whoa. What in the world? I'm sorry, I'm speechless. I mean, this is just, you know, incredible. It was an actual miracle, absolutely. It's almost hard to believe it's over. I can't believe what we just saw. That's one of the wildest things about this. We were right over Knott's Berry Farm, and as they apprehended two suspects inside the park after locking down Soak City, we turned around. Anaheim PD's airship was heading to another pursuit, and we literally turned around, and here came this Honda Civic flying up the 90 freeway right past Knott's Berry Farm, and that's when the pursuit was on.
Wenn dir dieses Video gefallen hat, würde ich mich freuen, wenn du meinen Kanal abonnierst. Vielen Dank.